I learned it's live before it's live. All right, so I don't know what's going on with Zoom, but it's not loading. So good morning, everybody. Rather than being later, I decided to come on my phone and let me pull up my Facebook on my computer so I can see comments and who's joining me today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see, I'm not left-handed, but let me give it a go here. Yep, there we go. Spiritual Empath is live now. Cool, popped up on my screen. Hopefully you have gotten notifications. I'm gonna open that. And yeah, my computer's being slow. It restarted or something last night, so even though I came in here early, it has not populated yet. Anyway, and I don't have my my earbud in here. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hi, Allie. How are you all today? Yay! Coming in. Hello, hello. Say hello. I have my computer up so I can see the comments. I'm really happy to be here today. How are you all doing? Happy past 4th of July, into the middle of summer now. Holy smokes. How fast the time is going. All right. My name is Marty Forrest. I get to come in here every week at 9 o'clock on Wednesday mornings as a guest on this page. So I'm super excited that you keep showing up here too. And what else? I have a group, Empathic Superpower. So if you like what we do here, I do that in the group also. And there's lots and lots and lots of videos in there already of just how to help yourself as an empath. I have a public page, Marty Forrest. So if you want more of what we do here, it's all there. And yeah, I'm a light worker, coach, mentor, teacher, all those zone of genius things that I love to do. So it's really amazing to show up here every week and share with you. I've been really present to the letting go of the old, which is what the title was. I didn't even think I put it in here. I just came on. I was like, I'm late already, so here I am. And letting go of the old, because that's what's been happening for so many of us, whether we realize it or not. What are your questions? What's going on for you right now in the world of being an empath? And what are you noticing for yourself? Because the energies have been really intense. They have not let up, not in a while. Although I feel that many of us have learned how to navigate them a little easier. Because we've just become accustomed to this is how it is. And so we learn how to navigate the waves and the roller coaster ride of energies. So what are your questions today? Where are you at in your own journey? What would you like to know more about? I am talking about letting go of the old, but I'd love to hear where you're at and interact with me. It works really well. And it's a lot of fun. Letting go of the old. Here's what's been showing up for me. It's been a thread for how many of you all struggle with money. How many empaths, highly sensitive people struggle around money? We know logically it's all energy. See, it's telling me, starting to speak up. Oh, good stuff. Hi, Catherine. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see, 3 new comments that are not populating. Oh, there we go. So I'll look over there at my computers because it's actually showing up there. Thank you for the hearts. Starting to speak up. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. Letting go of the old, really taking a look at what's working for you, what's not working for you. Is how you're behaving, how you're showing up in the world effective? So the thread in my world, there's been a couple things that have been long standing. And one of them was, it'll happen for you. You'll have the amazing relationship. You'll have, good morning, Alita. You'll have the riches. You'll have the whatever that is, fill in the blank. But that won't happen for me because the underlying theme is I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy. So my computer just switched screens. Let me come back here. Okay. So that's the underlying, that's underneath all that. And that showed up recently in a conversation, a group conversation with a young person, and there's several of us that are the aunties and grandmas. She just had a baby. She likes to be a victim. She doesn't want help. And I got to look at, because it's very old for me, and I'm sitting in judgment about it, and I'm like, why are we doing this if all you want to do is be in the problem? So I, in a meditation, went, what is this for me? What is showing up for me in this? Where am I? Where am I? Where's the mirror for me? Where am I still being a victim? And it was in that thread of, oh, it'll happen for you, but it won't happen for me. What does that do? That leaves me straight in the victim mode. So taking a look at, getting really honest with yourself. What are your beliefs? What are the things that are limiting you from speaking up? A lot of that's about being seen and heard. So as I realized that, oh, okay, then what do I need to do to shift this? And it was stop engaging. Now I started the chat. I started the group text. So I don't get to mute myself, but I can stop reading them. Right? And stop answering. So that's what I did. I don't even read it. If it comes up on my text, I just swipe it off and don't read it, or mark it as read and don't read it. There's several of us in there, so she's getting all the support she needs, and I don't need to engage because it's not serving me and it's not effective for me or anyone else. So it's very old, right? That's the very old hair or something. Very old ways of, oh, let me help her. She's young. Let me get to her while she's young. Let me fix her. And that's so lifetime old stuff, right? Big, bold, big capital letters, old. What's that? Yeah, hopefully that's it. Old. Very, very old behaviors. And so it's the longer we are on this path, the deeper we dive, the more subtle the behaviors become. Because the deeper layers are coming to the surface for us to take a look at and to clear and to release and to dissolve. So what's old? What's old that's been showing up for you? Catherine's talking about starting to speak up. I have another one I want to talk about. And that is around money. I started that conversation. How many of us struggle around money? When I have it, it's great. When I don't have it, it's not great. And what do I make it all mean? And so I'm in this prosperity group, coaching group. And there was a question asked yesterday. So today I decided to write, what is my relationship to money? I didn't even want to look at it, it's like, ew, this does not feel good. How do I behave around money? If money was a person, what's my relationship to money? And you know what showed up for me? I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously, this is still, right? So there's the behavior and the old thoughts and words, all that still showing up. I treat it like I did when I was out there running and gunning. I'm only in relationship because I need you to make me feel okay. While that's mostly not true today, I watched it as I'm writing and journaling about it. I'm like, this is money. This is my relationship to money. Okay. Hi, Kate. How do you let go in a sense of one trying to conceive? Had 2 miscarriages years ago. That's a big one. Let me come to that. Because I'm going to say it's all the same. It's about our relationship. Conceiving, it's what is the contract with the soul. I miscarried a couple of times also. So I'm just kind of touched me right there. So I'll come to that. So really taking a look at so I wrote it in capital money. I treat you like this. I behave like this. I act like this. When I have it, it's great. When I don't have it, I'm not worthy. And I'm only in a relationship with you so that I can get something from you and it makes me feel good. Ouch. So I really looked at that. I'm like, hi, Brad. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I did not feel good. And then I wrote the next script of how do I amend this? How do I create a new relationship with money? How do I want to be in a relationship with you? It's the same thing, right? How do I treat it? If it was a person sitting in front of me, how would I treat money? And I wrote capital M as if that's the name. That's my person's name is money. And I wrote how I want the relationship to be going forward. And then when I got done with all that, and I'm walking around and getting ready for this to come on here, I just had this wave of grief and sadness. I was like, oh, like that's been my companion. That kind of mentality and that belief has been my companion for lifetimes. So really, truly shedding the old ways. And they just become more subtler. The behaviors and the beliefs, they just get deeper and deeper and they become subtler because we've done so much up to this point. And so it's really pausing to listen. Okay, let me come back up to these questions. That one did not come up there. All right, speaking. Let me talk to this one first. Starting to speak up. Whew. Starting to speak up, be seen, be heard, right? Most of us are not very comfortable with that. Most is probably accurate. I would say many or most. Most. I would say most of us are not very comfortable with that. Because there's so many things about our worth, what people are going to think. Am I going to say the right thing? Can they hear me? Probably one of the easiest ways I've learned how to do that. I did Toastmasters. Let me say that. Let me qualify that. I was in Toastmasters for about 10 years. People would say, they'd say, what do you want to do? I want to be a public speaker. I want to teach people. I want to be transformational. You need to go to Toastmasters. No. I would not do it. I resisted it. And then I moved out of my hometown. And I went, I need to know people. So I started Toastmasters. And it gave me such a way of confidence in speaking and how to speak and how to deliver. So that was one thing. Because there's a lot of our self-esteem wrapped in having a voice and being heard in the world. So there's a lot of shedding and letting go of what of our beliefs. Being authentic when speaking is speaking up. Yes, is incredibly important. Thank you for all of the hearts. It is incredibly important. Being authentic, and if we're not comfortable in that, it's still challenging. I found it still challenging. I could be as authentic as I want to be, but if I don't know how to speak the words, so it helped me to qualify it when it was uncomfortable and I wanted to be authentic, it helped me to qualify it. So if I had a feeling about something, let me hear my feelings, or we were having something going on in the relationship, I would qualify it. I don't know any other way to say this. I'm still learning to be efficient, not efficient, eloquent, or non-abrasive. I was very abrasive in my delivery. And I would qualify that. I don't know how else to deliver it. I'm asking you to hear it. And I'm just going to say it the way that it's here for me. And I would just word vomit. That's what I call it. I would just say it. It was sometimes brutal, sometimes really abrasive, super, super uncomfortable. But once it was out, then we could talk about that and unpack it. So qualifying it really helped me until I learned to say it different. Because it was reforming and reprogramming even the words that were in my head to be able to deliver in a way that wasn't critical and wasn't just shitty. Because that's how I talked. I didn't know any other way. Unless I was trying to help you. Good morning, Anne. Unless I was trying to help you with something, then I was really great at that because it wasn't about me. So delivering the message is practice. If you're like this, where I come on here and I deliver this, I've been doing this for several years now, coming on live and being able to talking right off, straight off the cuff. I don't script anything. I come up with a topic. Okay, Spirit, let's talk. Well, yes, that is true. That's very, very true, Brad. The truth is often abrasive to people who aren't ready to face it or to hear it. Yes, it is going to be abrasive and they're not going to like it, no matter how it's delivered. True statement. Yeah, because it can still be that way for me today with people that, no matter how it's said, it's just not received always very well. And that's another piece of that, is I'm not responsible for how they receive it. I'm responsible for how I deliver it. And then I get to let go of that, how I want it to be. Now, I can do a lot of visualizing and all that stuff about how I want a conversation to go. I can practice it depending on what the conversation is. So, taking a deep breath and then speaking. Saying a prayer. So sometimes if I don't know what to say, I'll just go, okay, Creator, just can you speak through me? Can you give me the words that people can hear, or at least one person can hear? There's 25 of you here and one of you hears something. I know more of you do, but if one of you hears something, then I've been successful. So sometimes that's just putting that out there in the universe. Just give me the words to say. And then let them come out. Sometimes, because then we want to censor them. Oh, no, I can't say that. Oh, sometimes that's what needs to come out. Good morning, David. Okay, hold on. I want to come back up here. It didn't show up on, not about money. How do you let go in a sense of when trying to conceive had 2 miscarriages years ago? I'm listening for what that message is for you. It's about forgiving yourself. It's not it was an agreement. When a soul doesn't come in, that's the soul agreement, is they came in only for this period of time. And sometimes it's just for a moment. As you carried it and then miscarried, it's just for that moment. What are the gifts out of all that? I was not meant to be a mom. I miscarried twice and did not have children. So I came to peace with that some years ago, that I wasn't meant to be a mom in this lifetime. Physical, like having a baby. I have spirit children. I have a lot of mom energy. I carry that with me, but no bloodline babies. That's the right way to say that. But anyway, so forgiving yourself, that's a piece of it. And communicating. Maybe there's a place to communicate with your body and with the soul. Is there a soul that's ready to come through? Did you make that agreement? And that's meditating and getting really honest with yourself. I was not supposed to have children, and I didn't know that. I just thought I'd have children. That's what you did. That's what my parents did. That's what people did. You got married, you had children. That was the way it goes. I didn't have children, and I grieved that. I absolutely grieved that when I turned 41. Because I said, I'm not doing it past 40. And I turned 41, and I grieved not having children and not being a mom, because there's a lot of identity attached to that. When we get okay with ourselves, because I've had a client who's had 2, and we were working together both times. We were working together, and she got right with herself. I say that it's relative. She got okay with herself and accepting the pieces of whatever was so for her, and she got pregnant. And in that process, before she knew, she's like, what is going on with me? What is wrong with me? I'm so blah, 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 blah. I'm so emotional, or whatever it was. And then the next time around, we're working together again. The same kind of thing. And then it seemed really obvious then. Oh, she was pregnant. So now she has 2. So it's making peace with ourselves And that person had many abortions. That was her birth control. So that was like she was being punished now that she's in this happy marriage. And so there's a lot of things that can tie to that. Is that helpful? The main message I got for that was forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive. When I think of forgiveness, I break it up. I go, forgiving myself more, fill in the blank. Love, acceptance, compassion. Because I really didn't understand what forgiveness meant. It's different for everyone. But I had to break that word apart and go, forgive. What am I giving myself more of? Thank you for the stars. Yeah. Awesome. That's kind of a cool little thing coming up there on my screen with the stars showing up. That's awesome. 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 All right. So everything, I was thinking of this morning, I was contemplating, and so everything that I speak to, no matter what the topic is, it all ties together for us as empaths. It all just comes together. So this whole letting go, we are transitioning into a much higher vibration. So it's been really intense, depending on where you are, how it affects you physically, because that's the last place for it to affect. We've been doing it. Many have been doing this a while. We've been on this path a while. Most of us have been on the path a while. It was how actively we're engaging in it and present to it and being in it and knowing we were in it. I didn't know I was in it for a long time. And then now I'm in it. I'm like, oh, okay. So really embracing it as the waves of energy come through. You'll forgive me, but I hope, but everyone keeps talking about love. Do you wonder if we are not, hold on, I'm like, let me, when you think in terms of all things coming together, it can be quite overwhelming. Yes, you'll forgive me, but you forgive me, I hope, but everyone keeps talking about love. Do you wonder if we are not embracing other emotions because this idea of love and light is being pushed so hard? Yes, Brad. Yes, I've actually read some things about that, and it's there's like this false pretense that we're supposed to just be in love and light all the time, and when we're in love and light, the more we embrace the love and the light, the more the shadow part's going to come up for us, whatever you want to call that. The parts that we've disowned. The parts that we don't want to look at. The parts that we don't feel good about. When we simply go for love and light, because I did this for a long time. Oh, I'm just supposed to be positive. I'm just supposed to be living in the love and light. You know what? Being a light worker, being an empath on this path today, it's a butt kicker. Kicks our ass and hands it to us. If we're being really truthful and honest about it, yes, I can be love and light all day long, but if I'm not dealing with the other side of that, love is spirit, flesh is not. Walk in the light, not in the darkness. Well, yes, walk in the light, but the more you walk in the light, you're still going to have the darkness. It's going to show up because those are the parts of us as a human in the physical. Like I was talking about with the whole money or the I'm not good enough. Oh, it'll happen for you. You'll have the blessings and you'll have the soulmate relationship. And I had all this series of just abuse, narcissism, until I didn't. I was 45 when I met my husband. And I had just these series of relationships, broken picker. As long as I'm not dealing with that part, I'm just trying to go to the light. I'm not ever going to be fully in the light because I'm never dealing fully with the dark. That makes sense? And a love is an energy. Love is spirit. It's an energy and it's a way of being. And how do I show that in my actions? Or how do I show that in my energy field? How do we let it go? We say letting go. How do we let it all go? How do we just move on? How do we clear it? Darkness is just the absence of light, so we have to try to embrace it, even though it's very difficult. It's difficult until it's not. It doesn't feel good, always. It's not very comfortable. I will make it difficult because I resist it. I resist the moments to pause, to feel. That's all it really requires. Feel it. Feel it without judgment. Feel it without putting a label on it. Feel it as an energy. That's how we begin to let go. That's how we begin to clear the trauma. Thank you for the heart. Right, so just shifting that. It's because I'm making it difficult. I'm the one resisting it. Doesn't mean it doesn't show up today. It's a practice, right? Like anything that we do, it's a practice of, oh, I'm feeling something. I don't really like this feeling, but let me pause and feel and not slap a label on it. Because the moment I slap a label on it, I get in the story, now I'm in my head. And then I'm looping in that emotional story. If I simply pause, and this is a practice, because we're very habituated to label it and judge it and then make a story about it. Once we're in the story, once we've labeled it, we're in our head, we're not feeling. So taking that breath. That was perfectly said. You really relayed it elegantly. I don't know what exactly that was, but thank you. Thanks for the words and acknowledgement. I appreciate it. You feel something, you have a feeling about, let's just go with the not having children, because that's present here. So feel it. Instead of, I'm bad and wrong, or I did something wrong, or I'm not worthy, or whatever, see the labels that we just slapped on it? Just feel it. Feel it. Feel the energy. If we can remember, it's all energy. Feelings are not fact. They are a GPS to guide us, but they're not factual information. They're feelings. Emotions are the story. It's a little different there. Feeling, the energy. Where does it live in the body? Where does it live? Pausing, taking a deep breath, because I want to distract myself after about 5 seconds. I'm feeling it. I'm not comfortable. Okay, I got laundry to do. I got some cards sitting here. Let me read a card. Right? My mind's kicking in, going, I don't want to feel this. It's not comfortable. The mind is the historian. So the minute we get the label and we start telling the story, it's the history. That's all we have. If we can feel it in the moment, take a breath. Take a deep, deep belly breath and fill your lungs up to here. And if your diaphragm is stuck, lay on the ground and keep pushing that diaphragm. Keep taking that deep breath. That Buddha belly. So you feel the belly expand. I'm pushing it down. So you feel the belly expand. And then exhale out the mouth as you're feeling those feelings. It gives it the space to move and to clear out of the body. It's that breath. Breath is life. Breath is presence. I call that the presence breath, that deep belly breath, and then exhaling out in the mouth. Simple. Keep it about the same length in and out. And breathe that until you feel different. Breathe that until the anxiety's gone. Breathe that until the panic is subsided. Breathe that until the grief is moving. Breathe in until the trauma is moving. And it's still layer by layer, but it's a whole lot simpler and quicker and easier than ruminating and running the story over and over about what a piece of shit I am because I couldn't have a baby. And I was in an abusive relationship, so I didn't have the right to have a baby there. Thank God I didn't bring a child into that relationship. That's what I can say today. But that child, hi Tim, that child, the first miscarriage that I had, got me to move. It's a terribly abusive relationship. It was a matter of time before I was likely dead in it. When I miscarried, there was a moment I went, if I can't take care of this child, because that's how abusive it was becoming, how am I going to take care of me? How am I going to take care of a child? I miscarried after that. And I'm like, I gotta go. And I left. I was in North Carolina, moved back to California. Showing love to those who choose not to believe in love is the hardest thing to do, because usually you're dealing with a very bad, dark spirit. Sometimes, yes, myself I trust in my Lord to guide me through the darkness. I fear no evil. I stand fast in my Lord to give me strength. Awesome. Do whatever works for you. Choosing to, let's see, come back up here. Showing love to those who choose not to believe in love is the hardest thing to do. Is it really? Thank you for those. Is it really the hardest thing to do? Love is love. Love is love. It's unconditional, right? Corinthians. Jesus is that Christ consciousness. There is no judgment about whatever they are or not. Yes, it's really that hard. So when I'm standing in whatever your belief is, I'm going to say Christ for this moment. When I'm standing in Christ, love is love. And it's not hard to love people. Now, there could be some boundaries in that where I choose to not engage. Like, I love my niece to pieces. I love her so much, I'm getting out of her way so she can have her experience. When I think that she should be a certain way or love a certain way, then I'm in her way, energetically and with my words. Love doesn't mean I have to interact with someone. Love means, hey, I love you so much, I'm going to just go be over here while you go live your life and I live mine. Now, if you're in a household, that's different. A little bit. Love is neutral to me. Love is neutral. Love just is. And sometimes it can be a dark spirit, of course. And it's always a reflection of me. So where are the parts of me that I'm not loving if I find it difficult to love someone else? Whether I like them or not. It's a great conversation we got into about love. I'm liking this. Yeah. See, I'm doing my breath. Like pausing, what's next? Letting go. It's relative, right? Letting go does not mean I'm stuffing it and I've let that go. It means I've truly cleared that energy of that behavior, that emotion, that story. My neighbor worships Satan. I just love him from afar. I love that breath. Yes, me too. Just love him from afar. You don't have to engage. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to change him. It's not that we don't believe in love. It's the understanding of all emotions and their origins. Yes, yes, yes. Being present with them no matter how they manifest. Yes. Yes. And that is where the breath comes in. When you're feeling it, when you're feeling that, there he is. Take that breath. Breathe in that love. What if your way of being and showing up in the world as love helps him shift. It's not my job, right? It's not your job to get him to be something else. Our job is to show up and be love. Job, it's relative. Our way of being is love. Put him in the balcony. You do have to exist. Put him in the balcony. You do have to exist near each other. Stay vigilant to the enemy. Just be love. How do we be love? How do we be love with ourselves? Because if I'm looking at someone else in judgment of how they're living, I'm doing the same thing to me. It's like when I was looking at my niece and I'm like judging because she can't hear me and she doesn't want to hear me and she wants to be in the problem. That's all my opinion. That's how I see it. Does that mean I love her less? No, it means I choose to love myself so much I'm going to disengage in the conversation because it's not going anywhere. And when I can just step back and be love, then I give her room to step in. But the reflection is, where am I still being a victim? Because when I'm still judging that, I am that somehow in me. So where are you the enemy to yourself? Thank you. I found that caring and bearing one's soul is never easy at times in life. It's not how far you go, sometimes it's what you see or lose along the having a Christ consciousness. Never, ever easy. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. It's not always easy. It's pretty simple, but it's not always easy. I read something recently about, sometimes we just have those people in our lives to remind us of how not to be in the world. Sometimes a reminder of where I've come from. I don't need to judge that. Because I promise you, the moment I'm doing those things, I'm doing it to me. Because, if you're truly in Christ, we are all one. The energy, the spirit, it's one. So how is that separate from me? If I'm judging it, it comes to that judgment. It's because I'm doing that to me. If there's someplace that I'm not loving me, I'm judging it. I promise you. And if I'm judging it, I'm judging me 100% of the time. Sometimes it's a measure of how far I've grown. But if I'm having a resistance, I just read this. Let me talk about this. If I'm having a resistance to it and I'm judging that, I get to step back and look at, where am I? There's still something in me to clear and dissolve. Because I become intolerant. If I'm feeling, this is all energy, right? I'm talking all about energy. If I'm intolerant when I meet someone, let's say this man who worships Satan, and I meet him, and we're on way different levels, right? I'm like, I feel him, I go, ugh. And I'm up here, I can't meet him down here, and I can't bring him up to where I'm at. But we don't match. So let me just go about my life and live my life and go in the world as love and where I am a match. I don't have to judge it, though. That's the distinction there. If I'm judging it, let me look at me. If it's something that I'm feeling and it just made it so clear to me just a few days ago, reading this book. Just check in with yourself around the energy of it. Am I just intolerant because we don't match? Or am I judging it in the intolerance because we don't match and there's still something in me that's showing up for me to clear? Now, what I can tell you is I was quick. I was quick to slap a label on it and call it judgment when it's simply that I don't match here. Sometimes nothing is something. Space is something also. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it is. Thank you, David. I'm glad you can hear that. I'm really grateful that I can express that in a way that's heard. It's kind of like being able to entertain and understand an idea or point of view without adopting it as your own. Yes, well said. Well said, Kate. Interesting. I don't see the emojis on my phone. I see them over on my computer. Yeah, so this is all about us expanding. You came here, you bring this conversation. I'm like, oh, this is so yummy and so delicious. I get to share because I'm still growing through my stuff. That thing this morning around the whole money relationship was so deep for me. Because that's lifetimes of poverty and scarcity thinking. Lifetimes. And not knowing how to shift it. And then I start to look at that relation. Oh my God. That's what I did when I was out there using. It's like, how is that even possible? So if I'm looking at all of life as a relationship, how am I treating it? It's really, how am I treating me? Because if I'm treating me some way, and it's sometimes a reflection, I'm projecting how I feel about me onto you. And that's where the judgment comes in. Because there's something in me that I'm not accepting. I'm a pagan and Luciferian. I have to say I agree with or match to what you say a lot. Would that suggest that not all love is light? What a great question. Would that suggest that not all love is light? I've been called a pagan before. Luciferian. Not all love is light. Let me ponder that. I don't have any answer for that. Yet. Let me sit with that for a second. I have forgiven family members that I do not allow to eat at my table anymore. Major disengagement. But when my father died, I saw they never changed and received the something of confirmation that they were cruel to me all my life. Yes. Balance of yin and yang. Yes. Yes, Benjamin. I send Uber Eats to them now. I am reminded how you can grow up in the same home. However, they have no desire to become better human beings. It, to me, is disease. You do not need to bring medicine to people who like to be sick. Amen, sister. I love my family. I love my brother. I don't have any. I've lived here almost 3 years and I've talked to him one time. And I adore him. We have incredibly different lives. I stopped drinking and using almost in 1994. And he still is. I have no judgment about that. But we are not on the same playing field. We just, I love him. And when we talk, we get along great. But we just don't relate. I talked to him about my mom. And he's a good man. He takes care of my mom. He goes out there and he takes care of the house. He shows up, takes care of the physical stuff. I'm not there. So, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to create a relationship where there's not one to be had. I received the gift of confirmation, love. Oh, thank you for all the comments. Love for me and not the other person. Karma, yes. Love for you is loving the other person. I think my dad was psychosomatic. He claimed to be sick when he wasn't. But he was also an alcoholic. If he was an alcoholic, he was very sick. Now, the physical illnesses, I'm talking about sick here. The physical illnesses, who knows? Maybe. Okay, hold on. When part of a journey pulls you from some people and places, it's only because that is parts of yourself and others that no longer has room in your soul energy. Yes. And it's important to allow them to move. Like if we're in a relationship and we're suddenly like this, And that's happening a lot, and very quickly and very often. We're suddenly mismatched when we've been together for, let's say, 5 years. And now suddenly we're on different wavelengths. There's nothing wrong. I don't need to make a mess. We just need to go our own way. Especially the star seeds. Yes. Yes. Allow them to just go. I ended some because they were just, after 15 years, I divorced this woman. And it was, I just had enough. And I kept hoping it would change and it was going to be different. It's going to be different this time. How many times do we hear that? Oh, it'll be different this time. Oh, it's not that bad. I don't see her that often. That's what I would tell myself. Love that is not light seems like manipulation to me. Especially the star seed. Oh, there's not light. Seems like in the action, yes, it could be. I suppose so. I'm coming back up to that question he asked. Would you suggest that not all love is light? What if we just didn't call it anything? Love, dark or light. What if we just dropped those labels? Love is love. Now, how you express it or how you be that is going to be different. Maybe the expression of it and the physical delivery of it is going to be different. I send stars to help support the information that's being sent out to everyone. And you rock. You rock. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm really in this question. It's really just a good question. Because it feels like, what is the energy of love? What is the energy for you? Is it a light or is it a heavy? Instead of a light and a dark, is it a light energy or is it a heavy energy? And then how is it expressed from you as an energy or as an action? Best place to go and let out pain is behind a waterfall. I love that. You can let out sounds and prayers in the water of life as water remembers somatic vibration and image and is divine. It is. Oh, that's fabulous. Now, what do you do if you're not near a waterfall? Shower. Because not everyone lives near a waterfall. I'm thinking where I'm at now in Oklahoma. Do I live near a waterfall? Maybe. I'd have to find one. To flow is the energy of love, like water, to refill cups, if not your own. Yes. Yes. Agree. I'm trying to track who's saying what. Or in a rainstorm. Storm? Light is still a ray at any degree in the dark, or light in the dark. Okay, wait. I just totally messed that up. Okay, light is still a ray at any degree in the dark, or light in the light of Christ is above all lights. Or the love of Christ. Rainstorm, okay. Love feels like your soul is protected, heard. Yes, I feel that too. Wow, you turned that around. Love to me is very heavy, though I've never labeled it in such a way. Wow, what makes it heavy? Just an amazing conversation, y'all. I'm just loving this a lot. It's peaking. How do you say that? In ways that I'm stretching to feel into that. And what is that? How is that for me? And what is the message for that? Love is still a ray at any degree, yes, in the dark or light. Yes, so what does they say? The darkness is the absence of light. Like black is the absence of all color and white is the presence of all color. In that color scheme. So is black the absence of light. Because when you shine the light in the dark, we see what's there. So that's why I wanted to shift that, because there are, what do you say, dark energies. There are dark things in the world that are, or NAA, AI, the things that hijacked the planet. The Son of God is light, sunlight, Son of Ra. Yes, we say amen, amen, Ra from Egypt, as all planets are soul portals. I like it. I like that. I have sun danced, so I dance in the sun. Am I praying to the sun? No, the sun is a portal. The sun is an energy. It's a masculine dance that I was called to dance in the Native American culture. Light penetrates darkness. Darkness can't penetrate light. Yes. So I'm waiting to hear more about how the love is heavy. How is that heavy for you? I would love to hear more. The unrealistic expectations I put on myself at the detriment of myself. To make others happy, this can manifest in any form of contract, family, friends, or partners. Yes, it can. And that's a very heavy. If it were not so, we would not know the difference. The self is a dance. Oh, yes, it is. If it were not so, we would not know the difference. Moon and sun, sun and moon. Yes, I missed that one. Scrolling back through. Can you fully love certain family members when you do not trust them? Of course you can. Yes, 100% you can love them. Does not mean you trust them. It does not mean that you hand them your heart. Define what love is for you. And trust what you know. If you know they're not trustworthy, then you don't trust them. It doesn't mean you don't love them. There's a distinction there. I can tell you all day long. One of the biggest moments in my world many years ago was someone in my family she just stopped talking to me and disowned me. Well, it happened when I got sober. It took me years to understand that that's what the key was. And going back to that question, and it does not work there. And I love her to pieces, like my brother. Love them to pieces. Do I trust her? 100% no. Would she ever be there for me? Maybe. I don't know. But loving someone doesn't mean I like them. And when I say that, what I mean when I say I don't like her. I don't like her. I love her. She's my family. But I don't like the behaviors. I don't like the way I was treated. Am I judging it? Maybe. In that context of judgment, maybe I am judging it. But I choose to not be treated the way that she behaves. It has nothing to do with whether I love her. I get to choose how much do I love me and how do I want to be in a relationship with her. Because it always comes back to me. How much do I love me? Gotta go to work. Thank you for your words of encouragement and wisdom. Blessings. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day, David. Especially, some families are past life enemies. You need to heal this time or walk again from, yes, especially energy vampires. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going back up through the comments here. I can't do it on my phone. Okay, and then there's more comments. Okay. Come back here. I am all in for God. So when you ask about love, that is not light. That seems one-sided. It sounds like taking to me. If your spirit man tells you something is off, it is. That's intuition, your gut instinct, your spirit man, capital SM. If anything feels off, it isn't for you. Yes, it's telling you to run or remain vigilant and collect more evidence. Watch their feet, friend. Actions speak louder than words. Amen. That would be my answer to myself. Is this good for me? Is this helping me or keeping me stuck? You are not a tree. They may need more lives before I rekindle, right? Yes, if it feels off, thank you for that. That's fabulous. Yes, if it's one-sided, it's definitely taking. The one-sided is I'm still choosing to participate with someone if they are takers. They have no boundaries. I'm the one that gets to have boundaries. And love is the greatest way to... let me say that differently. Boundaries are the greatest way to express love for yourself. Boundaries are the greatest way to express love for yourself. You're creating safety for yourself. You're creating trust with yourself. You're teaching the inner child that you're going to take care of yourself by having boundaries. Because so many of us did not growing up. We didn't know. We weren't taught. They may need more lights before I rekindle. Yes. Can't light a fire without energy to burn or it flickers out. Correct. Nice dragonfly necklace. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorrow and grief. The burdens are heavy, not love. Yes, got that. Sorrow and grief is, yes, very heavy energy. So we are... So let's tie this all back to that whole where I started with letting go. It's that getting into the breath, developing that relationship with yourself. How do you love yourself? How do you care for yourself? Do you have boundaries for yourself? Do you advocate for yourself? Nicola, hi. Boundaries literally feel so empowering, liberating, truly. Yes, 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 yes. The difference between good boundaries and bad boundaries are bad boundaries don't work. Bad boundaries are no boundaries. A no is not an impossible word. It's important to drop, just like a yes. Yes, it is. No is a complete sentence. And you owe nobody no explanation. That's another boundary. You do not owe people an explanation for why you're saying no or saying yes. Because we can feel all that energy, get so caught up in, I don't want them to hurt me. I can feel what they're feeling. I disappointed them. They're upset with me. Who the fuck cares? They don't care enough about us to take care of us. We have to do that. Clearly, I have a little charge there. I have to be so important to me, and it's discerning the energies and learning to trust ourselves. So if you don't know how to do it, reach out. Reach out to me. I am a queen of boundaries. Do I still have room to grow? Always, but I have really clear, effective boundaries in my life. So much so that I can create them energetically and never have to speak a word sometimes. A lot of times today. Because I'm clear with me. So I am offering, if you want to do a complimentary session, 15 minutes, no charge. You have a question, reach out. Direct message me. The dance of 3D is much different than the soul dance of 5D. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if you'd like to do an hour session, I'm offering for this week $99 for a full session. If you decide you want to do more than that, it's a really amazing discount. So reach out to me if you want to do something like that. If you struggle with boundaries or you just have a question that you want answered. Maybe you didn't get it here today, or you want to go deeper into it than what we talked about here, or it's personal to you. Send me a message. And I'll send you what am I trying to say? A link for a calendar. Just breathe. Just breathe. Yes. All right, lovelies. Anything else? That's been amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I come back through sometimes and read the comments and I'm like, I missed that. How did I miss that? Because I'm trying to catch them all as they come in. Birds of a feather flock together. Sometimes nature has the answers. Nature always has the answers. Unless it's out of balance. And still has the answer. We have kittens and they're so fun to watch them and just to watch them grow and gain their strength and their confidence. And it's just a beautiful dance. Yeah. Being present, that's one of the ways to be present, is to go out in nature, go stand in a waterfall. If you don't have a waterfall, a shower. I like my bathtub too, but showers work really, really well. Thank you for your time and your interaction. Anybody familiar with human design? I am a projector, so it's great for I lost myself at the moment and would love to have a reading from you. Oh, yes. Let's do it. When people complain that life is hard, when people complain that life is hard, the contract to come. I'm not tracking that. Hold on. I have goats. Thank you. Okay. We all took the contract to come the divinity invite to earth. Yes. So never complain. Some contracts are meant to be a struggle with yourself. They are. 100%. Yes, they are. Goats are fabulous things. Oh my God. They're so fun. Yes. Yes, we did. We all signed up for this. And I was angry for a long time about that. I was so angry that I would be here on this planet because it's all coming from here, my head, but my soul knew. My soul knew I was here on this contract. So we're all here at this time in this place. We're all here together doing this, however it might look together. Ghost eyes are unreal. Life can only get better at its worst. Yes. Goat. Goat eyes are unreal. Oh, I love the autocorrect. Yeah. We say it in the program, and my worst days sober are better than my best days using. I think I said that right. So anyway, Nicola, let me come back up there. I will reach out to you. Let's do that. That would be fun. That would be amazing. All right, lovelies. You know what? I'm looking at this. I lost, wait a second. There's another. My fingers, throat chakra. My fingers, throat chakra is blocked. Oh, you're funny. You are funny. Empath, elemental empath. Anybody heard of this deck? So I'm gonna pull a card real quick on this for us. That's just coming right out there. Intuition. Intuition versus fear. Connect to soul, trust, self, and source. Yep. Trusting yourself. Trusting your intuition. When you get a hit, an intuitive hit, take the action right now. Don't wait. I am learning that over and over and over. Take it right now. Remember, if you think when you're heading out the door to grab something, grab it. Like, those are some really simple ways to build that intuitive muscle. I prayed for all my brothers and sisters today. Take care. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you for the prayers. When the animals around us start perishing, we also start perishing. So whatever floats your boat, go get a boat. Oh my gosh, y'all are so awesome. I love you so much. I'm so grateful. This was so fun. Have a beautiful day. I'll reach out to you, and I'll see you all here next week, 9 o'clock, or an arc. You're great. You're so great. If you want to be with me again, I'm in Empathic Superpower with Marty Forrest. It's my private group, and I do something like this every week there also, usually on Saturdays. All right, y'all. Have a great, great day. I will see you here next week at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Namaste. Thank you for all the hearts.